Welcome to Table for One. I'm the narrator, and in today's video, I'll be unboxing Twilight Inscription, perhaps the heaviest roll and write in the universe. Let's get rolling. Alright, so I'm ready to unbox Twilight Inscription. I'm pretty excited for this one. I don't have a ton of games in the roll and write category. I've got Stellar Drift, which is essentially the same, but it's a pull and write. But I had a few people commenting on my Gentle Rain video, which feels like it couldn't be more different than this game. But that's a pretty relaxing game, and there's some talk about roll and writes. So this is the other end of the roll and write spectrum. But I have not played any games in the Twilight Imperium universe. I suspect I'd probably like them, but that's kind of a lifestyle game, and I don't know if I have enough time in my life to dedicate to that at this particular period. But this game is a roll and write in the Twilight Imperium universe that can be played from 1 to 8 players. So I'm kind of curious how that's going to work. I think it'll be good. I think I'll enjoy it, but I also think that Twilight Imperium, TI, for those in the know, I think there's a pretty important diplomacy component to it, and every round there's a vote, and the voting's important. So I don't know how that would work in a solo mode, but let's see what we got going on here. So let's get the lid off. It's a pretty heavy box and a pretty sizable box. It was larger than I was expecting for this game. I thought it'd be in a smaller box. So they don't mess around in this franchise. So here's our rule book. Let's take a look at that first. So we've got the components, the overview. How long is this? 20 pages. Interesting. So I assume these are dry erase markers, but they're dry erase chalk markers. And I guess you've got to prime them before you use them the first time. You leave the cap on and you shake them real good. And then at the end of the game, you dry erase them with a paper towel or something. All right. And, a lot of times I try and avoid using any paper or writing materials that come with a game. But I think I'm going to have to use these chalk markers in this one. I just don't want to, I'll probably never get there, but I don't want to have to deal with it if they ever run out. I don't want to have to figure it out. So here's the setup. So you play this roll and write across 4 different boards. And the sheet layout is recommended, but you can lay out your sheets in any arrangement to suit the needs of the table space. I don't know that it mechanically makes a difference on how you configure your sheets. I'm guessing not. I'll show you some of those once I get them out on the table here. There is a whole lot going on. Solo rules and 2-player rules. So that already tells me this is a game best enjoyed with 3 or more players, but there'll be plenty of solo playing in my house. So next up, we've got this Play As You Learn booklet, much shorter, 6 pages. I expect I will read the rule book. 6 pages. I suspect I'll read the whole rule book and then play it this way. That might be overkill, but some strategy tips in there. Oh, okay. Round 1 is navigation. Round 2 is expansion. Round 3 is industry. And round 4 is warfare. And I think those are the 4 different boards. And that's really the 4 X's of the 4X genre. This is really navigation. It's really explore, expand. Industry is exploit. And then warfare is exterminate. So it's like a roll and write 4X, which is super cool. I love the idea of 4X. I don't know that I really get to play that much of them. I've got Voidfall, but that's more like a 4X Euro mashup. It's not quite the same thing. Don't get me wrong, I love Voidfall, but I've always been curious about the 4X genre. So here's our 8 markers. I wonder if they're all the same color or if they're different player colors. I doubt it matters. Okay, so there's 8 colors, or 8 markers. They'll need to be primed. And here are the dice. And my goodness, these are like novelty dice. These are giant. Like this might be the size of the dice at like a Vegas craps table, except these have rounded corners. Huh. So there's 3 black dice, and then there's a blue, a red, and a green. And my understanding is they all get rolled at the beginning of the round. And I think you can always use these, and then these can be unlocked depending on what you do. And I guess all players probably use the symbols that are face up in different ways. So this is what everybody has to spend. And so the only justification I can imagine for the size of these dice is that if you're playing an 8-player game, you might be at 2 tables, and so everybody's got to be able to see these symbols from pretty far away if you've got 8 people sitting around playing this. But these are truly giant. You can't quite get the sense of it from the video, I don't think, but these are massive dice. It's a little bit silly, but there you go. Yeah, certainly too large for solo play. What have we got here? We've got 2 bags of cards. Let's see what's in this one first. There we go. So it looks like on the top here we've got faction cards. Yeah, a bunch of flavor text on the back. This is like the most iconic one of the series, the Emirates of Hakan. Let me know if I mispronounce that. I'm sure I can hear the keyboards going already. There are 24 of these in the box. That is an extraordinary number. I mean, I don't know how many factions are in like the Twilight Imperium games. I wonder if this is all of them. I kind of doubt there's any new ones in here. I don't feel like Fantasy Flight would introduce a new one in the roll and write. That's cool. They're going to maybe have different abilities, different setups. Just kind of flipping through them quickly. I don't really know what I'm looking at, but it looks like they have different, unique abilities and starting stuff, setup criteria. So there you go. That'll be fun to work my way through. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 double-sided reference cards. 1 for potentially each player. What have we got here? These are event cards. Let's see, here's what's on the back. 1 through 5. So there's these light blue ones. 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5. 2 1s, 2 5s, 3 of the others. And there's these black ones. What do we got here? 1, a 2, a 2, 2. 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. I wonder how they're different. And if you can tell from this side, I don't know. All right, whatever. We got events. So I think at the beginning of each round, you flip over an event card, and then everybody's got to do something. I don't know if it gives you choices or if everybody's got to do the same thing. But there you go. There are event cards. So that's sort of a randomizer, which is a pretty standard board game thing, having event cards at the beginning of each round. But mechanic, that's the word I'm looking for. It's a pretty standard mechanic, but I don't know how common that is in roll and write. So that's pretty interesting to see. And then we've got a second bag of cards over here. Let me open these up. And it looks like these are sort of what I was talking about before. I know voting is a part of this game and diplomacy, and I think these are things that you vote on. Typically in TI, I think that is towards the end of the round. I don't know if it's the last thing, but I think it's towards the end. I may be wrong about that. I might be completely wrong, but I wonder how this works in this game. But these are called agenda cards, and so the motion can either pass or fail. So we've got a number of those. 10, 11, 12 of those, it looks like. Then we have, looks like these are relic cards. We've got 16 of those. I have absolutely no idea what these are. It looks like some of these say you can play them, though. You may play this relic card. You may play this relic after dice are rolled. So this is maybe something you have in your hand and you earn. And then you can play it at some point. And these are objective cards. And I don't know. Oh, they're double-sided. Are they the same? Oh, they're not this. They're nearly the same. I wonder if you use one side or the other depending on the number of players. So I was going to say, I don't know if these are secret objectives or if these are like public, first to get them or everyone gets them. And then there's the speaker. I wonder if that's the first player. And then council event reference. Oh, okay. So this tells you how to do the agendas. Declare the agenda, cast votes, announce votes, resolve the outcome, and then spend votes. Interesting. Let's put this with these. Seems put on the top. They kind of go together. All right, put these back in their bag. And these as well. And let's get to the heart of it. Let's see. Oh my goodness, this giant stack where you're going to do the writing in this roll and write. So there's going to be 8 of each of these. So we've got expansion, industry, navigation, warfare, and here at the end there's one additional one. This is Mechatol Rex, and if memory serves correctly, that's like the former galactic capital that sits in the middle of the board in Twilight Imperium that everybody's kind of going after. I think it's a good thing to control Mechatol Rex generally. This is two-sided, and they're very different. I guess you probably use both sides. I don't know if this is like a global score sheet or maybe a round tracker, something like that. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. But outside of that, every player is going to get these 4, and the recommended layout is... these are actually, for the size of that box and how big everything else was, this is not as giant as I thought it would be. This easily fits on the screen. That's nice. And then I think at its heart, this is pretty typical roll and write fare, where the dice are going to be rolled, and then each of these boards is kind of like its own roll and write game, but one at a time. They've got different rule sets and different ways to get bonuses, and you're crossing things off. And like this one, you're making a network. This one, looks like you've got maybe different planets and or moons that you're building out that you'll probably produce on over here. I'm really curious about this warfare one in particular. I wonder if you're actually going into combat against other players, or if everything is just sort of happening on your board and it's like, okay, you're in combat with, just like NPCs or something. But I like it. It looks really cool. I don't know how to play it at all. I don't really understand what I'm looking at, but just trying to take in what I'm seeing. I think this will be really cool. And then, so these all said 1A. And on the back, these all say 1B. So there's an A side and a B side. And I don't know exactly how they're different, or if everyone has the same A's and B's, or maybe the A's are symmetrical and the B's are asymmetrical. I'm not sure, but don't worry. The answer was in the rule book. It's actually the B sides that are symmetrical, and the A sides, which are asymmetrical. And so the game says to just randomly pass these out, so each player gets one of each of these boards, but they may not be all ones, or maybe they will. That's a little unclear to me. So these are all the ones. I assume the next is 2s. Yeah. So there's a 2A and 2B for each of these. So all the B's are going to be identical, but should the first player get all 1s, or do you really shuffle them all up and you might have 1A and 6A and 3A and 4A? That I'm unclear on, but I like the variety. That's pretty cool. A little bit unexpected. I didn't think it would have that much variability in the setup. So I like that. That means I'm going to get a ton of playthrough with this game, especially exploring all the different factions. This is going to be pretty neat. So let's try and get it all back in the box here. So let's get our warfare ones. For now, I'll leave them in order. I won't shuffle them all up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just out of curiosity. Are they different? I mean, they must be. I don't know what I'm looking at. But surely there's some differences somewhere. Yeah. Okay, I see a couple things that are different. Okay. Well, for now, I'll leave them in order. Although, so warfare on the bottom, then let's do industry. So that kind of makes more sense to me. And then expansion. and navigation on top. Mechatol Rex right here, so don't have to go digging for it. It sits nicely. And then the markers, cards, 19 pounds worth of dice, the play as you learn, and the rule book. And that is it. Pretty straightforward, relatively, for what it is. You know, it's light on components, I think heavy on complex decisions, and I like that. You know, the setup for this one should be really quick, really simple, assuming everybody around the table knows how to play. Like, you can get this going really fast. You know, that's nice. The side of the box says it's 90 to 120 minutes to play, which is, from what I understand, way shorter than a typical game of Twilight Imperium, but it's not nothing. So if you can get it going quickly, that's a good thing. And so I'll have to learn how to play this, give it a few tries, and once I kind of know what I'm doing, I would like to get this on the channel. So if that's something you'd like to see, leave a like on this video and leave a comment so that I know. And then make sure you subscribe as well so that you don't miss it when it comes out. But that is the unboxing of Twilight Inscription. I had a pretty good time. I'm looking forward to playing it. I hope you enjoyed this too. If you got questions, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching Table for One, and I will see you in the next video.